This place looks nice. That statue is wearing clothes. That means you dressed him after he was a statue. If you turned into a statue, maybe you didn't. Are these to statue people or are they statues? There is a difference. And see, wow, you could just lay on the ground and see what's in that room. That is a very high door. High bottom of a door. A high bottomed door. That's two characters. Is she alive? Well, this bodes poorly. Is she one of the 23?
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Julia. She was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall, but there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Okay. That snake's cruel black eyes. Man, writing is so much slower with your hands than it is with a keyboard. Just tick 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 tick. Not that I write very often, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of questions here. Like, how did they poison somebody without violating the golden rule? How is refusing the care of somebody for money the golden rule? Like, he cruelly just took advantage of the situation and let somebody die? Like, what the fuck is a sin in this universe? And if people are, like, it's doing a good job at disproving the other guy's ideology, because he's like, oh, decimation's great and collective punishment is great. Well, I guess two different people support that. The guy that would order that and the guy that would be a victim of it, which is tragic in its own right. The kind of person that would be subject to decimation has also been convinced that it is a good idea. But hey, what's that if not modern capitalism? Hooray! But there's a whole thing going on here where they're like, they claim that everybody having to watch each other like guard dogs is supposed to make everybody behave better. And the golden rule is that times 1 billion, because not only is it 10 times the punishment and that everybody dies, but also some omniscient deity is going to punish you if you ever sin, as opposed to that, you know, having to actually be caught and so on. So it's not, it's like if a single person sins a single time, it's over. And yet, this is still happening. Like, everything's still fucked. Like, people are acting in immoral ways all the time. For me, the suspension of disbelief issue for here is that if there's this series of, like, greedy people and underworld people, like there's a whole underworld sort of, like, it looks like there's, like, a criminal element, essentially, that there seems to be multiple people involved that are actively experimenting with what they can get away with. And I'm like, that's a problem. Like, this is not a world full of people that are nervously shaking in their boots, like, oh my god, is this okay? Can I do that? Like, oh fuck, is it gonna kill everybody? Like, people are actively seeing what they can get away with, which is hard for me to accept because they fucked that up once and it's over. So I'm like, how have they not yet? How has nobody fucked up yet? That seems incredible. Haven't they been here for years, seemingly? Because it seems like they've been here for years. Is there something I can do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Why are these words not coming out? Tell Sentius that you suspect Lucrezia. It seems... I guess I do suspect her and that she's making a claim that she will do a future crime. So that technically would make her a sinner, but this is a really fucked up sense of morality. Granted, I've never encountered a mythology that doesn't have a fucked up sense of mythology, so there's that. every single... all the stories you hear about what the gods do in each of these things, it's like, okay, you sure made choices. Zeus, Odin, God, and so on. Like, those are... okay, what the fuck, bro? That's dangerous talk.
Then you'd better get me that silphium quickly, hadn't you?
Well... no items. Statue of Apollo. A large stone statue of Apollo, the Roman and Greek god of disease, healing, among other things.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Where's that voice coming from? Equitia.
Sentius, of course.
Oh. Oh. Anyway, where is it? It's over here. They're doing the vote right now. Oh. Time hath proceeded. I gotta go like all the way around here. Shit. I guess it's that late now. No. Malleolus just won.
I said, hail Magistrate Malleolus. That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him.
It said optional. You can report to Sentius that you suspect Malleolus while this is happening right in front of him. Maybe they mean I can tell him in future, like, playthrough shit. Cause right?
I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is, a children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
That was loud. Oh.
Please grant us your protection.
Supposed to go here? The myth of the golden rule. Shit, how do I leave? Oh, take? Okay. I'm like, I don't think I have time to read this. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Where's the door? Wasn't the... Wait, how'd I get here? I was over here. Oh. So the statues are the defenders, the upholders of the golden rule. Nope. Ow. Arrows hurt in my body. Oh, he did it. He did the thing. Well, the golden rule definitely happened. Hey everybody, I'm back. But you don't know that.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm Yogg, and we've had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer me to take me to Sentius so he can tell me about the golden rule.
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem, I have to go.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
What? Oh, is it a zipline? Zipline handlebar. Okay.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably.
Thanks, I'll be going now.
All right, see you around.
Oop. Settings. I'm noticing it here too. Let's turn the effects down a little bit. Oh, the interface. That's what's so chunky and loud. Effects could do with a little bit too, and the ambience. There we go. You know what? You just don't have to be that loud, bud. There you go. It's just the interface. Well, that saves us some time. I imagine the tour uses up a lot of your time the first time around. I don't think I can use this. This must be the end point of this one. What about this one? Whee! How long was that loop? Like an hour? I'm not totally sure. Don't steal anything, don't hurt anyone, don't... Whoever wrote this didn't get a chance to finish, evidently. Because they died. Ironically.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
The first thing that came to mind about the time loops, I'm like, is she dead yet? But if she's not dead yet. Go, go, go. I gotta warn her about what's gonna happen. Unless she's already dead. Well, fuck her. No, she's alive. Oh, she's dying. Okay.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cubulatus decius won't give it to me.
I'm sorry, I wish I could help.
It's too late. She just slipped away.
I was hoping to chat. Should I come back later?
No, now it's fine. I can't afford to wallow here. And I need the distraction. What's on your mind?
What's your story?
I'm Lucretia. And I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
I've got to have Effie play this game just because a response to every single thing practically. You can say, fair enough. Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain.
Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
So I imagine it's one of the guards. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, I suppose.
Do you know a way out of here?
I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
I keep hearing the statues whispering. Is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician. But she was until she suddenly lost all. This changes everything. The last time I saw her, and then she's but at one.
Go on.
He's become so irritable that I just.
Well, both those options do the same thing.
Thanks.
Can we talk about Lulia? Iulia? Because I guess it's an I.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Do you think she was poisoned or it was self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
Maybe they left it out passively, hoping she would take it, but not in whatever the fuck plausible deniability is in this universe. Do you know what poisoned her?
Hemlock, I believe.
Is there any reason why she might have wanted to die?
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolas' villa.
What the
and
fuck?
They are quite secretive.
Let's talk about something else.
Gladly.
I'll be going.
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
With so few people in such a small place, it's really hard to accept the idea that somebody hasn't been seen for literally months. That's a lot. A collection of barbaric-looking medical implements, including forceps and shears. A wooden rack containing various dried and ground substances. It's good that there's a fire right next to the dried substances. It's right, it's inches away. Good plan.
May Apollo keep you safe.
She just dies right there on the spot. It makes me wonder if she knew something about Malleolus that needed to be stopped somehow. And he somehow found a way to break the rules. Loaf of bread. A circular loaf of bread. I just took it. I meant to look at it, but I guess left click is take. It appears to be freely available to anyone who wants it. Okay, that's good to know. Otherwise I would have been in trouble just now. Yeah. A stone mill. It looks like flour and grain are poured in from above and ground between the stones as the handles are rotated. A Roman recipe for bread. A simple recipe for baking bread. Bread recipe. Ingredients. A generous pinch of yeast. It's a... yeah. That's unnecessary to go through. It's the dickhead.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
I need some silphium resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
How would I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
You're price gouging over life-saving medicine. What's wrong with you?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
The whisper.
Are you sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
What happened to Navia?
She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this silphium or not?
How about I just take it instead?
Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want?
Okay, so we do know somebody else died. That's what I was unclear on, because I feel like nobody mentioned that until just now. Is that what you want? If not, then hand them over now.
Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see one? Nice try.
I don't have that kind of money.
Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
What's your story?
You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
Uh-oh. You chose the girl, right? Anakin and Padme meme.
The girl? Weren't you listening? All my valuables or the girl? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
You chose the girl, right? You chose the girl, right? So you took her with you after all?
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Sounds like you got what you deserved.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Huh. Thanks, I'll keep an eye out for them. What do you think about the golden rule?
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
So I gave you a bow, you give me the sylph. Hasn't the magistrate banned weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, friend.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
I'd like you to vote for Sentius.
Not going to happen.
I'll be going.
Very well. Another time.
I imagine I'm supposed to take this to him. So I think I still have it. Wow, he inscribed it on a stone tablet? Oh, because he got time traveled into the past, right? And so he had to carve it onto a tablet so it would still be there in the future. Yeah, I'm keeping all the items. I got my arrows. Where's the scroll? The Myth of the Golden Rule by Durotas the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for this city, for our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion. He deserves our admiration. But here I must depart from custom, for his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching, and deserving of our contempt. Who among us has not awoken at night in a cold sweat, fearing some accidental transgression of the golden rule? All of us must accept that we are all capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles, hey, I just said that earlier, that we live under is, I believe, merely a deception, and I shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one," is evidence that the golden rule is very real. But that is logically unsound, for we cannot assume the writers knew any more than we did. That this message was inscribed does not make it true, any more than if I were to inscribe, Durotas the Younger is a god. It's a reasonable point, because whoever suffered Whoever wrote it had not suffered the effects of the Golden Rule because they were, you know, there to write it. It's kind of a logic gap there. So it's the same problem that is faced here. But now I know the Golden Rule is real because it does happen. It takes the place of a bunch of archers shooting people with magic arrows that turn them into gold, apparently. So I guess that's why it's good that that guy gets an armor to stop him from getting hit by an arrow. I guess that must work or something. But that also should mean that it's possible if you can escape this place, you're safe from the curse. It's not just going to magically affect everybody that was ever here, because apparently it takes the place of direct punishment via the arrows. So if you're not here, you can't get shot, right? Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence that the Golden Rule is real. You need not remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around this city. It is I who collected them, placed them in a handcart, and placed them in the niches in which they sit today. I will not soon forget them, and yet I refuse to leap to the conclusion that they were once real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion's sculpture Galatea to life, we do not believe it is true. Why should we take a different view here? But ultimately, these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove the Golden Rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point in our city's history. Let us see once and for all if the Golden Rule is real, as I strike one of you with my fist. So that document ends there.